Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Last part I talked about Sony's commitment to releasing their biggest games on the PS4 and PS5 to PC. I discussed 4 games: God of War Ragnarok, Ghost of Tsushima, Demon's Souls, and Final Fantasy XVI. In this second part, I will discuss some of the remaining games that I wanted to talk about. In the first part, I said that the 4 games I mentioned are very likely to come to PC. And as an addendum to that, I feel that within maybe 2 to 3 years, these games would release on PC. However, with some of these next games, it will be a lot hard to figure out whether these games being on PC are true or will come true. Like and subscribe for more like this. So the next 5 games I want to talk about are Bloodborne, Horizon Forbidden West, Shadow of the Colossus Remake, and The Last of Us Part 2. Let's jump right in. Let's get started with Horizon Forbidden West. The reason I'm starting with this game is because I feel like this is the most obvious answer as to whether it's coming to PC. What do I think? Of course, it has to come to PC. It just makes way too much sense for it to come to PC. One reason is, of course, Horizon Zero Dawn was the first major PlayStation exclusive title that was ported to the PC, and like I said in my last video, it was fantastic. And it only makes sense for Horizon Forbidden West to come to Steam because, obviously because of how successful Horizon Zero Dawn was, there is obviously going to be a market for Horizon Forbidden West. And the game has been selling amazingly with over 8.4 million copies. If they port that to PC with the same quality port as the previous game, it's just going to keep going. It's going to get even more sales. When would it come to PC? Doing some research, some people have made the speculation about 2024 to 2025. And the reason that they are making these years as an estimate is because they looked at release dates of previous games that have come to PC that are owned by Sony, and basically are claiming that they will follow a similar formula. So, Horizon Zero Dawn released on the PlayStation 4 on February 2017, and then released on PC on August 2020. So because of that, they are speculating that Horizon Forbidden West may come on 2025 or 2026. And I think this is a fair speculation to make and a fair way to adjust when this game would come to PC. I'm not really opposed to the game coming out on 2024, and the reason why is because with Sony being very serious about porting games to PC, I feel like they might pick up the pace and just keep making those decisions faster and just start recruiting people to help port their games on PC and get those sales up. And they do all that while they develop whatever's coming next for the Horizon franchise. So out of the 4 games I'm going to talk about, this is probably the most obvious as to whether it is coming to PC, and I think yes. Why don't we get started with Shadow of the Colossus Remake. Shadow of the Colossus Remake was a success. It wasn't like the biggest game released on the PS4, but it was a beloved release, loved by many. I mean, of course, it's a remake of one of the most iconic PlayStation games of all time, Shadow of the Colossus. One of the most revolutionary games as well in terms of its graphics and the way it just portrays itself. And so this game will never be forgotten. But even then, a remake did help keep its relevance. And that's really all there is to it. This game is only on the PS4 and the PS5, I guess. But the question is, will this game come on PC? Well, there is basically no information about this game coming to PC, but that doesn't mean that it can never come. So as far as the developer, the director behind this game, he actually is working on the studio's next game, and he is hoping for an announcement in 2023. Now, because I said new game, that means that it's not Shadow of the Colossus coming to PC, but rather it is, a brand new franchise, I'm assuming. And with that, with 2023 being an absolutely insane year for games so far, I feel like this big announcement is only going to add on to it, even if the game doesn't come out in this year. But despite that, I wouldn't give up hope because this guy is this is the person behind Shadow of the Colossus. If people keep on recognizing him as that, and the studio behind that, then maybe that will motivate the studio to create a port for Shadow of the Colossus Remake. And, that would be very good for the brand, for the gaming industry, and just for the sake of this game in general, because again, this game is very iconic, it is very revolutionary. However, unfortunately, despite all of that, I feel like Shadow of the Colossus coming to PC officially is nothing more than just wishful thinking, and there's not exactly that much of a demand for it on PC. Maybe in the future there could be, with this big announcement bringing back some traction for Shadow of the Colossus. Even with the other 2 games, The Last Guardian and Eco, there is nothing about those games being on PC, they're only on PlayStation. Despite that, I feel like this game will not be getting an announcement on PC. However, I would love to be wrong. Next, let's talk about The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the most divisive games ever made in terms of its reception. Divisive attitudes in terms of its gameplay, visions, story, and development. Now, as far as what my opinion is on all of that, I don't know, because I have not played The Last of Us yet. But we are not talking about the opinions on the game, we are talking about whether the game is going to come to PC or not. And there have been some speculations. There is a very highly critically acclaimed show, which is HBO Max's The Last of Us. The show is absolutely insane in terms of how people felt about it, and people think it's really damn good. Obviously, they are working on the next season. In terms of speculating on when The Last of Us Part 2 might come to PC, following any sort of news or speculation about the series can also help here. But despite that, some have said that maybe at some point in 2024, this game will release on PC. Maybe it will follow the release dates of the second season for the show, maybe not. But despite that, they should take their time making sure that The Last of Us Part 2 does function well on the PC, because unfortunately, The Last of Us Part 1 remake, when it released on the PC, it was a disaster of a port. Thankfully, according to what people say now, it does seem to run well, so I'm happy that's the case. Hopefully, if they port The Last of Us Part 2 onto PC, they take their time, make sure it works well, and we'll see what happens. So my guess is, yes, it will definitely come on PC at some point, maybe 2024, possibly 2025. I think the show will be a big factor as to when this game would come on PC as well. But we'll find out. Bloodborne, Bloodborne, Bloodborne. What is going on with you? Bloodborne is a big deal of a game when it released in 2015 for only the PlayStation 4. It is From Software's Souls-like exclusive that is a standalone game. There is no sort of franchise or sequel or anything. This was their original idea, but what is going on with this game? Why is this not on PC? Because this has to be the most requested PC port that literally has no sort of evidence, speculation, or rumors or leaks, or just any sort of official announcement in general as to if this game's even going to go on PC. But you know damn well that a lot of people are going to play Bloodborne, and they're going to love it if it comes on PC. It is literally only on the PS4. There's not even like a PS5 extended version or anything. What's going on with this game? So what can you do with Bloodborne on PC? Well, you can play it on PlayStation now, but that doesn't mean anything. That's not a port. So, is there any sort of speculation or a credible rumor? Well, let's take a look. So, in my past video, I talked about the NVIDIA leak, which is a huge deal. It revealed a lot of games that would likely come to PC at some point in the future, and also revealed some new ideas that developers are working on. But that NVIDIA leak unfortunately did not mention Bloodborne, but it did have Demon Souls in it. I did talk about Demon Souls in my last video about how the NVIDIA leak is a huge piece of evidence as to Demon Souls coming on the PC, but with Bloodborne not on there and how the NVIDIA leak is super credible, this makes it even harder to figure out whether Bloodborne is even going to come on PC. You would think that with Sony keeping these ports coming, they gotta do Bloodborne, right? That's the thing, who knows if this game is going to come to PC? They're like, literally nobody knows. There's no sort of rumor or credible rumor or leak. There have been rumors in 2020 and 2021, but unfortunately these were shot down and ended up not coming true. Do I think this game is going to come on PC? Unfortunately, I do not think so. If there is nothing at this point, I don't know, man. I really don't know. There's probably some sort of insider reason as to why there's nothing about this game. But hey, if you want this game to come to PC so bad, keep on dreaming. But hey, at least you can play that free Bloodborne demake. That will conclude the second part of this video. If you have not seen part 1 and are interested, I will leave a link to that in the description. Let me know what your thoughts are on these games. Do you want to see these games on PC? Do you see them coming to PC? Will you buy them day 1 if they come on PC? If you think these games are going to come to PC, around what time do you think they would come? That's all for now. Like and subscribe for more like this, and I will see you next time.